What's up, Captains? Welcome to another episode of the Captain's Lifestyle Podcast. I am joined by one of my best friends here and content creators, Mr. Master Dave, aka Captain Chef Dave, aka
Captain Beefcakes.
Captain Beefcakes, all the things. And we are sitting here in Kimberly Kesting's home in Richmond, Virginia. She was gracious enough to let us use her place while she was gone. And I'm scouting out the area because we may be moving here. There's a lot of cool people here. There's a lot of fun stuff happening. And I'd like to tell you about some of that fun stuff in today's podcast episode. So a little overview of what today's episode is going to be about. Going to talk about the Captain's Code and how this free PDF can literally change your entire life if you allow it to. Then we're going to talk about what it means to become the captain of your own life. A little explanation of my new logo because it means something. It stands for something. We're going to talk about my new program launch coming up, my new YouTube show. We're going to be talking about that, and my annual Captain's Gift Guide. So let's actually start off with that because the gift guide is the sponsor of today's show because it includes all of the products that I personally use on a pretty much daily basis, and I get you guys exclusive discounts on all these things. So the gift guide is my carefully curated list of health and wellness curios, all things that, like I mentioned, I use. So speaking of which, we've got Zamner Juice. This is one of my favorite Newtopia products. I like to take this before podcasts. Very fast acting neurotransmitter booster. Helps with relaxation, calmness, clarity, and it tastes fucking bomb too. I just interviewed Matt Gallant, who's the CEO and co-founder of Bioptimizers and Newtopia, and he said that they're reformulating this in a bunch of their products. That's one of the things I love about Bioptimizers is they're just constantly updating and upgrading their stuff. On the same note of Bioptimizers, my interview with Matt, the CEO, was all about sleep and specifically their new product, Sleep Breakthrough. This stuff is incredible. It's got basically all of the ingredients that I would personally put into a sleep formulation. It's got magnesium, zinc, glycine, taurine, L-theanine, and GABA. So it's good stuff. And you guys can get 25% off depending on when you're listening to this episode if you download the gift guide. So Newtopia and Bioptimizers, there's discounts in there. Also, Ketone IQ is in the gift guide. The rocket fuel for my brain and body. We actually just took a shot before recording this podcast. Also, Aries is in there, EMF protection, Lamb's EMF protection. So literally everything that I use is in this comprehensive gift guide. And it's completely free. So fuck the consumerism, commercial bullshit that's out there around this time in Black Friday. Like, buy this, buy that. You need more stuff. You don't need more stuff. You need the right stuff. And I think I've done a pretty good job of curating the right stuff. I'm very particular and picky with what I use. I only use the highest quality stuff. So if you want to give the gift of health this season for both you and your friends and family, then click the link in the description, download the gift guide for free, and save some money on your health. Now let's get into what it means to become the captain of your own life. Dave, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think becoming the captain of your own life means?
I would say the captain of your own life, the first thing you have to do is take responsibility for your life. Instead of blaming the government, social media, whoever, your parents, your family, your friends. Instead of blaming those for your problems, you start taking action, taking responsibility, and taking control of your life. That's for me what it means to be the captain of your own life, taking control of your health, your fitness, your goals, your visions, everything that happens to you, you're in control to steer your ship in the way you want to steer it.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. I like to define being the captain of your own life as eliminating the the victim mentality. So being in 100% control of everything in your life, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. You are, like you said, steering your ship to where you want to go. And ideally you've defined that end goal. Because what most people are doing is they're just on autopilot, floating through life, surviving. Like, oh, I hope I become successful someday. Like, you're not going to become successful if you're just working a 9 to 5, like hoping, like with no plan.
I think that's like literally one reason why so many people are sad, unhappy, depressed, because they don't have any goal they're working towards to. They don't have, and it doesn't have to be like the next, I don't know, Elon Musk building a spaceship goal. It just means like, all right, by next year I want to weigh like 10 pounds less, or be like a little more fit, or run this marathon, or whatever. It can be like just work towards something that will give your life meaning.
You know that only approximately 3% of the population has any written down goals?
No, I didn't know that.
Crazy stat. 97% of the population, you guys just have dreams. It becomes a goal once it's written down. Only 3% of the population, roughly, has that. So, of course you're not achieving your goals because they're just dreams in your head and you haven't written it down, you haven't defined it. A lot of it is also because you might not know who you are. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I didn't know who I was or what my purpose was for quite a long time. And that's why I hated my life. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, I hated life. I was stressed out. I had trouble sleeping. I was a victim of circumstance. Every other sentence out of my mouth was fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, blaming everybody else for my problems, why I was not happy with my life. Blamed a lot of it on the Marine Corps. I didn't know these things that I know about holistic health now, which we won't get into my whole story, although I do want to record a podcast on how I got to this point. But essentially, I came to the realization that I am in charge of my own life. If I wanted something to change, that's up to me. Nobody's coming to save me. If I didn't like the way that my life was going, which I didn't, it's up to me to change that. So I took it upon myself to learn everything that I could about lifestyle optimization. And one of the most important, if not the most important aspects of living the life you want to live is the elimination of the victim mentality. Let me define the victim mentality for you. The victim mentality is an acquired personality trait in which a person tends to regard themselves as the victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. The victim mentality depends on a habitual thought process and attributions. So if we break that down a little bit, the victim mentality is an acquired personality trait. So we acquire it, which means we can unacquire it. We don't have to hold on to it, right? And it depends on a habitual thought process and attributions. So the only reason the victim mentality stays around is based on your habits and your thoughts. So if you change your thoughts and you change your habits, you change your entire life. You become in control. You become the captain of your own life. And you literally get to design your dream reality. Because really, we're living in a video game and we get to be our own character. If you choose to be. This is another way of saying, becoming the captain of your own life is being your own video game character, writing your own story.
Being the hero in the movie. Like you're the hero of your own movie. You write your own book. What kind of book do you want to be? It's like...
And if you don't like the first 27 chapters of your book, guess what? You're still the author. You can still edit and script and have this vision for where you want to go. Which a big part of my coaching and how I'm able to see such tremendous success in my own personal life and with my clients is what I call your MVVP, your mission, vision, values, and purpose. This is transformational for people because again, most of us, I'm talking to men specifically, because that's who I work with, are just going through life on autopilot. This is the traditional, or this is what's typical for men today. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You wake up to your alarm going off. You either hit snooze and stay in bed nice and cozy for just a little bit longer, or you check your phone, start scrolling, Make sure you still have all the same problems when you check your email. Make sure you're stressed out about all the same things. You go on social media, you're instantly stressed out from an inflammatory news post or whatever. Then you go throughout your day not wanting to get up. You're not excited to get up and start your day. You just are kind of doing it because you're surviving. You don't know what else to do. You're stuck. You don't know where you're going, and you're just going through the motions. So you get up, you make yourself some coffee to finally wake your brain up because you need coffee to function. You go to a job that you don't like. You complain on the way there. You complain to your colleagues about your boss. You drive home in traffic. You get pissed off in traffic. You get home to maybe your girlfriend who she's got some problem for you to handle when you get home. You guys get in an argument, and instead of talking with her about this, you just sit on the couch, watch TV or whatever. Then you go to bed and wake up and do it all over again the next day. That may sound like an exaggeration to some of you, but that's also the reality for a lot of people. So along that spectrum is where the modern man lives his life today. Unfortunately, the modern man is pale, weak, soft, anxious, stressed out, sad. That's normal. That's just the average.
Yeah, if you're like a happy, healthy individual, you're like, people look at you like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Because like it's like so like far from the norm nowadays, and it should be the standard. Everybody should be happy and healthy and feel amazing every day. But like it's like so far from the standard, from the norm, that like people look at you like you're crazy, and it's like, what's going on with the world?
That's why my purpose is to hashtag make thriving standard, to make this new way of living the captain's lifestyle standard. A quick story of how people think that being healthy is crazy or not normal is I was at the airport doing my push-ups because when you're in an airport, you don't want to just sit around and do nothing and be lazy. You want to move your body, right? So I was doing push-ups, and when I finished a set, one of the airline workers asked me, "Did you lose a bet or something?" And I was like, "No, I actually won a bet." You don't have to lose a bet to improve yourself. You don't have to lose a bet to exercise. We need to stop viewing exercise as some punishment that you have to do, and instead think of it as improving yourself, improving your body, improving your abilities. Like exercise is not a punishment. You don't need an excuse to do exercise or to move your body. You just simply do it. So for some people, it's weird to see me doing push-ups, air squats, whatever in an airport. So that's one of the things that we're going to change is we want to make it normal to just see people working out in public.
On that note, like instead of going to your doctor and getting prescribed another pill, just do some exercise. It's like literally the best fucking drug you can get. You will feel amazing. You will have more energy. Everything will work better in your body if you just exercise on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that brings us to the captain's code. So now you've got a general idea of what it means to become the captain of your own life, to be in control. So how do you get there? Because the health and wellness world can be overly complicated. Like you see a new nutritional headline every week. Like, if you eat this food, you're gonna die. Like, this food is bad. This is the new health superfood. Nutrition is bad, so that's why I'm giving that example. There's always some new thing in nutrition. Like, you've got the vegans, you've got the carnivores, you've got paleo, and then there's something in the middle. Like, what the heck do you believe? Same thing with exercise. Like, do I do CrossFit? Do I run marathons? Like, what is the best for me? So there's a lot of complication around the health and wellness space. What I want to make very clear to you is that something is always better than nothing. So what I find is most people overcomplicate things and they think, oh, if I can't get a full hour-long workout, I'm just not going to work out because it's not worth it. That's absolutely not the case. Like, something is always better than nothing, so simplify it. This is what I've done with the Captain's Code. The Captain's Code are the 12 most important articles by which I and other captains live their lives. So each letter of the Captain's Code stands for one of the most important pillars of holistic health and wellness. And once you understand how to incorporate all 12 into your life that simplifies how to steer the wheel of lifestyle optimization, which is my logo. So I'll explain this briefly so you can understand what the rest of the code does. The wheel of lifestyle optimization is a pirate ship wheel. As you can see if you're watching the video, it is an 8-spoke wheel. Each of these spokes represents one of the most important pillars of holistic health. So at the top, we've got mindset. So understanding language and how our language literally shapes our reality. So developing a growth mindset, believing that you are in control of your life, that you can learn new skills, that you can constantly upgrade yourself. There's no I can't in your vocabulary. That's an example of mindset.
What do you say always to me? Do I have to do it or do I want to do it?
Yes, changing have to get to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to work out. You don't have to go pick up your kid. You don't have to go to work. You get to do all of those things. You're choosing to do those things because they're important to you, right? So expressing gratitude in that sense. Then we've got vision. So this is what I mentioned with the MVVP, crafting your mission, vision, values, and purpose. It's crucial to begin with the end in mind, to understand the end goal, where it is that you're going. Because as Stephen Covey says in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, sometimes, most of the time, we are climbing the ladder of success only to get to the top and realize that the ladder was leaning up against the wrong wall. This was me. I thought that I was living the life that I wanted to live when I took my job as head coach in Saudi Arabia. I got there, realized that this is not the life that I want to live, even though before that experience, I was like, I want to be a CrossFit coach. But yeah, when I got there, we won't go into the whole story, but I was not fulfilled because I took the job because they paid me more money than another job. And I thought money could buy happiness. That's absolutely not the case. So I ended up quitting that high-paying job and diving headfirst. I burned the ships at the shore to build the captain's lifestyle, which is what we're talking about now. I was only able to do that after crafting my MVVP in Saudi Arabia. That's when I read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I created my own mission statement and core values, and I realized it doesn't matter how much money I'm making in this job, I'm not fulfilled. I will not be fulfilled until I start pursuing my purpose, which is to make Thriving standard. So again, I cut ties, I quit, came back to America, had no plan. I just knew I was going to make it work because I saw this vision. I saw this end goal and I knew that's who I was and I was going to do whatever it took to make that happen. So that is the second spoke of the wheel of lifestyle optimization, your vision for a better future. The third spoke is brain health. So balancing out neurotransmitters, which is something Nootopia does tremendously well. They're 100% customized nootropics to your specific imbalances. That's one of the reasons why I love them. Also understanding holistic strategies like nutrition and different habits and routines that you can incorporate to balance out any deficiencies, like depression, for example. You can a lot of times cure your depression if you get more sunlight, if you start pursuing your purpose, if you exercise and move your body, if you hang out with loved ones. You don't need to take some pill or some prescription drug. This is what holistic health is all about. We have everything that we need to heal ourselves and to be healthy. Health is our default state. Sickness and what the majority of, especially Western culture, is experiencing today, chronic health, is not normal. It doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your genetics. If you have a chronic disease, that is simply because you are out of alignment with who you are. Simple as that. Then the fourth spoke on the wheel of lifestyle optimization is sleep. Sleep is foundational. Sleep is the rising tide that raises all ships. Once you get better quality sleep, everything else in your life starts to improve. Then we've got relationships, understanding how to effectively communicate both to your friends and family, to employees if you're an entrepreneur, and how to lead effectively as a man. Because again, I only work with men. Leadership and communication skills and relationships go hand in hand. If you're a good leader, you have good relationships. If you have good relationships, that will translate into you being a good leader, right? Then the next spoke is exercise. And by the way, these go in order of importance. So a lot of people put exercise and nutrition as paramount importance. My experience as a CrossFit coach is that is not the case. Because when I was working in Saudi Arabia, I'd have a lot of clients come up to me saying, hey, I've been coming into the gym for a year now. Why am I not seeing the results? And I would ask them, well, how's your sleep? How's your nutrition? How are your stress levels? Their answer would always be the same. Like, I'm lucky if I get maybe 6 hours of sleep. I'm stressed out from work or my relationship with my partner, and my diet is pretty good. Anybody who says their diet is pretty good is pretty full of crap. So I told them, I was like, you can't expect 1 hour in the gym to offset the other 23 hours of a bad lifestyle. It doesn't work like that. So that was a switch for me. It's like, okay, that's why I called my brand the Captain's Lifestyle, because it's how to incorporate all of these different pieces: health, or sleep, nutrition, training, stress management into your lifestyle. It's not about one or the other. It's about how to properly balance, aka steer, the wheel of lifestyle optimization, which incorporates all of these things. All right. So then exercise comes next, and then nutrition. So optimizing nutrition specific to you. So don't believe any one-size-fits-all diet or meal plan that's out there. Yes, all of them can work, but what works specifically for you? So in the Captain's Lifestyle program, which we're going to talk about, you get a test that tests your DNA to figure out which foods work specifically for you. You get a gut microbiome test to actually figure out what helps you feel good and not just trust some Instagram headline, right? Like all these superfoods. There's really very minimal actual superfoods, right? Liver being one of them, the most nutrient-dense food on the planet.
You can take as much superfoods as you want when your base diet is still full of crap. They don't really do shit. Like, that's like what a lot of people think. Oh, I can keep my crappy diet, eat like pizza every night, and if I take those few superfoods and supplements, I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah, so disclaimer, if you get the gift guide and you want to get these supplements, which are hyper effective, if your diet sucks, if you are super stressed out working a job that you know you don't like, there is no supplement or magic pill out there that is going to make everything better. You have to do the work. Supplements are actually the last spoke of the wheel of lifestyle optimization, which is biohacking, and supplements fall into that category. Supplements of any kind should be your last resort. I will say, except for a few, like magnesium is one that I recommend everybody take because it plays a role in over 400 different enzymatic functions in the body.
And even with a healthy diet nowadays, it's hard to get like enough magnesium.
Yeah, because of poor farming practices, our soil has been depleted of nutrients.
Yeah.
We're just spraying everything with pesticides that kill everything. So our food, even if it's organic, is more nutrient void than it was 50 years ago. Especially if you live an active lifestyle, it becomes necessary to supplement. So especially with something as foundational as magnesium that plays a role in stress reduction, deep sleep, melatonin secretion, testosterone production, digestion, like that's a basic, like supplement with magnesium. Other ones, like I recommend cod liver oil because omega-3s are foundational to everything, especially when most people's diet is too high in omega-6 fatty acids from seed oils and bullshit, crappy meat products and shit like that. So there are some baseline supplements, but the majority of ones that you're getting advertised for, that's your last resort. You want to incorporate supplements once you optimize all of the other 7 spokes of the wheel of lifestyle optimization. All right. Also falling into the biohacking category, things like, red light therapy and, any of these crazy technological devices. Like, yes, a lot of them can be beneficial, but it's really not the thing that's going to be the end all be all, right? Do all the natural cures first. Connect with nature, right?
And I think that can be like a little overwhelming, hearing that you have to do all this stuff first. I would focus on one spoke at a time. Like literally start at the top and then go around. So like.
Yeah, that's exactly how my 4-month program, the Captain's Lifestyle program, is structured. It's structured in order of importance. So a lot of clients, when I first start working with them, they're so excited to do everything, which I get it. I've been there. Like when I decided I wanted to change my life around, I wanted to do everything, right? And that can hold you back because you overcomplicate everything. You want to try and do everything. And oftentimes that leads you to being overwhelmed and not doing anything. So exactly like Dave said, I recommend starting with the first spoke of the wheel of lifestyle optimization, which is mindset. So working on your language, overcoming the victim mentality, taking I can't out of your vocabulary, changing have to get to, understanding that everything in your life is your fault, which may be difficult to hear, but that also means that everything in your life is under your control when you become the captain of your own life. So to further simplify this is why I've created the Captain's Code. Again, it's the 12 most important articles that summarize all of these 8 spokes. So it's like if you're going to pick one thing from each spoke, the Captain's Code is it. So it stands for cold exposure, affirmations, play with life, train your mind and your body. A is accept the uncontrollable. I is inspire others. N is nasal breathing. The C is connect with Earth and your friends and family. The O is observe your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And the E is eat real food. All right, so we'll go into these just briefly because if you want the full explanation, download the code. It's free. It's a 19-page PDF that goes into detail in each one of these things. But real quick, I'll go over why each of those is in there. The C, the first C, cold exposure. Yes, there's a whole host of physiological benefits from cold exposure. Like it can boost dopamine up to 250%. It helps with muscular recovery. It can improve testosterone. But the thing that is most beneficial from my perspective is that it's a challenge. So what I say is first thing you wake up in the morning, if you're one of those people who either hits snooze on their phone and goes back to bed or stays in bed scrolling their phone, first thing you wake up, take a cold shower. Because when you can deliberately put yourself through an uncomfortable situation, something that 99% of Americans are deathly afraid of, being uncomfortable and exposing themselves to a cold shower, the whole rest of your day will be better. The level of self-confidence that you'll have going through your day knowing that you can handle whatever comes up. Because more than likely, if you're new to cold showers, nothing else in your day will be as difficult as getting up from your warm, cozy bed and taking a cold shower, especially now that winter's here, right? So it builds discipline. It builds mental toughness.
It also like trains you not to like run away from the tough things. So like face the tough things first.
Charge towards them.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like, oh, maybe tomorrow or later or whatever.
This helps you overcome resistance.
Yeah.
The A, accept the uncontrollable. So this is any situation that you find undesirable, but you're stuck in, like there's no other option. So like when you're stuck in traffic or when you're having a conversation with your spouse that you really don't want to have because it's making you uncomfortable, or you're in an ice bath, for example. The more that you try to escape that feeling or that situation, the more uncomfortable you will be. So instead, you can learn to accept that which you cannot control. So instead of being a victim of circumstance, you accept your current situation and then come up with a plan to, if it is undesirable, get out of that situation. So accepting your situation is going to bring you peace. You cannot create from a place of stress. So if you're always in this stressed out mode, this upregulated parasympathetic state, you can't create from that place. That comes when you are not accepting your current reality. So wherever it is that you are, everybody's on a different plane, right? Wherever it is that you are currently, accept that. And then using the rest of the code, you can bring yourself away from that place into something better. The P is play with life, because so many of us are way too fucking serious. Like, so suit and tie, corporate, like, gotta do it by the book this way, man. Like, fuck that. Play, create, express yourself, sing, dance, paint, draw, whatever it is that brings you joy and happiness, like whatever it is that you did as a kid. For me, it was climbing trees and exploring. I loved exploring and being in nature. And also dressing up. I loved putting on different like outfits and just expressing myself creatively that way. Start doing those things. Have more fun. Because after all, fun is the point. Like, we only get this one fucking life. If you're not having fun with it, why? Like, life is a video game. Play the video game you want to live. Live the movie that you would want to be watching. Be the character in the book that you would want to read. Simple as that. The T, train your mind and your body. Pretty simple here. Most people know the benefits of exercise. You can be fucking strong and jacked, like Dave and I. You can do a titty bounce. Show him a titty bounce. There we go. I'm not at that level yet. I haven't practiced that. But imagine how much better life would be if you could do a titty bounce. And how much more confident it is when you can walk down the beach with fucking abs and you enjoy the way that you look. Like, it's not from a like conceited standpoint. Like, you just feel better when you look good. And that comes through training. And also, training is overcoming resistance. Right? Everything that you are avoiding in your life, you're avoiding it because of resistance. So going to the gym, overcoming that resistance, that's why it's called resistance training, will transfer into every other area of your life. Same thing with the cold exposure. That's overcoming resistance. Right? And then train your mind, learn something new every day, constantly. You should be in a state of curiosity. You should always be a student. I will never reach a point to where it's like, okay, I know it all.
I don't even know why you would want that. Because that what makes life interesting, to learn new things, to discover new things, and like just grow and evolve.
When I thought that I knew it all, that's actually when I knew nothing. Yeah. And now I know that I know nothing. Shout out to Phil at We All Know Nothing _awaken, I think is his Instagram. That's his brand. We all know nothing. And really, we do. Like, what the fuck is reality?
Yeah, it's a trip.
What the fuck is going on? I'm just doing my best to convey my experience and what I imagine, both by experience and by learning from others, the best way to go about life. Right? But, do with life what you will. It's your video game. Live it how you want. If you're not fulfilled with your video game, if you'd rather play another video game or watch a different movie with your life, I suggest downloading the Captain's Code and trying this on for size. This is what worked for me. This is what worked for Dave. This is what works for all my clients. Living the captain's lifestyle. Yeah. Being the captain of your own life.
It's never too late to rewrite your story. It's like literally, that's like the hero's journey. You wanna, a good old story doesn't start with like, yeah, I can do everything, I'm great. A good story starts with like, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm going through this hell, and then overcoming all these insecurities, these difficulties. That's what makes a great story.
Damn right. So, moving on, the second A in the Captain's Code is...
Affirmations?
Yes, affirmations. Affirmations are... I'm trying to think of a way to express the utmost importance that affirmations have, because if you are trying to change your lifestyle, if you're trying to become a new person, and you're doing it from the frame of mind of this old version of you, you will fall back into your old habits. You will fall off track. This is something I hear all the time. How do I get back on track? I started going to the gym and then I fell off track. It's because you're still in the same thought process of the person you were before you started this new journey. So how do you start to incorporate the attributes that you want, the attributes of your higher self, you have to reaffirm them every single day.
I like to think about it as you're running a program every day. And like, if you don't set the program, someone else will. It's like advertisement, politics, news, your friends, your circles. They will like write your program if you don't write it yourself. And affirmations literally like it's rewriting the program. Like getting rid of those old beliefs you don't want to have and incorporating new, better beliefs to like live the life you want to live, to build that identity you want to have.
That's really it. Like, so we'll move on because I want to keep this relatively short episode. The I is inspire others, because once you can start living the captain's lifestyle, it's not just enough for you to live in bliss and peace and happiness for the rest of your life. Although, well, I don't know about that. That's a good place to start. For me, that's not enough. For me, I love inspiring other people to take control of their own life, to become the captains of their own lives. Because you witness this light bulb moment when you inspire somebody, when they realize, holy shit, there's something more. Like, I don't have to be anxious all the time. Like, I can be happy and healthy and feel good. That light bulb moment for people is tremendously rewarding for me and a lot of other people. So my favorite part about being a coach is not the results that I get from my clients, although I love that. My favorite part about being a coach is that when my clients start to become the captain of their own lives, they then inspire the people around them, their friends, their family, because they start to notice when you become a different person. They start to ask you questions. Hey, you seem really happy and energized. What are you doing? How can I get some of that? So you just living your life, leading by example, will inspire others to be better themselves. And that is how we are going to make Thriving standard. It takes all of us to inspire people. The I, we just did the I. The N, nasal breathing. I'll keep it simple here. Your mouth is meant for eating, pussy, and food, and your nose is meant for breathing. Simple as that. Nasal breathing is one of the best performance enhancers I've ever experienced. I was a mouth breather when I exercised for a long time, and now I nasal breathe 99% of the time. It's a complete game changer.
Yeah, there are like a ton of reasons to get into nasal breathing. I definitely recommend to do your own research, because like we cannot go over it all now. But it's definitely a game changer. Like even your posture like changes if you start nasal breathing. You're like, your health, everything is affected by the way you breathe.
Changes your jaw structure. Like you actually have a masculine jaw instead of like this no chin, like just looking like a freaking idiot, like all hunched over. Fuck, man. Breathe through your nose. It makes you more attractive. If nothing else, it makes you more attractive, which will increase your confidence, right? But yeah, breathing, I've got it. It's so fucking important. I've got it tattooed on my hand. Breathing is everything. It's free. It's right under your nose all the time. You always have time to breathe. Once you understand how to properly breathe, you can downregulate yourself. You can calm your anxiety. You can reduce your stress in any situation simply by taking a breath. So we'll leave it at that. The S in the captain's code is sunlight. I talk about this all the time. Sunlight is literally what gives us life. We wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for sunlight. So there's so many things we could say. I'll say most notably is it sets your circadian rhythm, which is your body's internal clock that basically controls your entire physiology. When to wake up, when to go to bed, when to eat, when you feel awake and alert. Everything is controlled by the circadian rhythm. So the sunlight sets your circadian rhythm. So watch the morning sunrise. That's the actionable in the captain's code. And it also increases dopamine, the molecule of motivation. So if you feel a lack of motivation and drive, get more sunlight. It also raises serotonin. So again, if you're feeling down in the dumps, get some free serotonin. Get out in the sun. Like, this stuff is free. Health is free. We don't have to take some pill.
Yeah, I would say there's like one superfood on the planet, and it's sunlight. It's literally, I view it as a nutrient, like an essential nutrient. You need to feel complete, to thrive in life.
Well, it is, because it synthesizes vitamin D. So if you're not getting sunlight and you're not getting vitamin D, you're going to be depressed. Your testosterone is going to be low. You're going to have a low mood. You're going to have a weakened immune system. Vitamin D is crucial. And that's just one of the aspects of sunlight. So get more sun. The second C in the code is connect with Mother Nature. It's extremely stress relieving, especially grounding, putting your bare feet on the earth or touching any sort of nature. Like if you just touch a tree, you're grounded. It reduces stress and inflammation. And then also something that has gone horribly wrong the past 2 years with these ridiculous lockdowns is people being disconnected from friends and family. Just staying inside, being scared to give somebody a hug and have that physical connection. We release oxytocin when we bond with other people. We get some virtually, but it's best when you can actually touch somebody, actually give somebody a real hug. We get this release of oxytocin. Makes us feel good, makes us feel calm, comfortable. So connecting with other people, that's a huge performance hack. Feeling like you're part of a tribe.
If you're looking at the blue zones, like the zones on Earth where people get the oldest, they live all up to 90, 100 or even older. They're like the main thing they say, they're like, why they're getting so old is like they're connecting with other people, they socialize. It's like literally they say like that's one of the most important things in their life. It's like socializing with their tribe, with their community.
Yep. This is why I created the Captain's Crew, which is my private online men's community. We meet every single week, hop on a coaching and accountability call. So if you think you're alone out there struggling with these issues, you're not. In the crew, there's men who are going through the same, if not very similar things that you're going through, overcoming resistance in some way. And by talking about it, getting vulnerable, and having other men who are going through the same challenges to also support you and challenge you to become better, that's really the only way you're going to succeed. Because again, going back to affirmations, if you're trying to incorporate all these lifestyle changes and you don't change your environment, the people you surround yourself with and talk to on a daily basis and get information from, if you're talking to a bunch of victims, guys who also are stressed out about their job, their relationships, guys who are also fat and overweight, who are struggling to go to the gym and eat healthy and whatever, of course you're going to fall in line with them. No matter how mentally strong you are. If you surround yourself with a bunch of lazy men who are stressed out and hate their lives, you're going to fit right in. So change your environment, literally the people you surround yourself with, and get information from. So that's the second C of the code. Connect with nature and with loved ones. The O in the code is observe your thoughts. So just because you have a thought doesn't mean you have to believe it. If you have the thought, I'm such a fuck up, I'm a loser, I hate myself, you don't have to believe that thought. That's just the victim voice that you've been programming for the past however many years of your life. There's also that voice in your head that knows that that's not true. So you can start to listen to the other voice. And that comes by observing, thinking of it as if you're observing your thoughts from a third person perspective. And then you can choose what to believe and you can choose what to think based on crafting your language. The D is delegate tasks to other people because we can't do it all. I tried. Especially as an entrepreneur, you can't do it all. You need a team of supportive people in your life who you can delegate things to. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to say yes to everything. Say yes to your unique skill set. Everything else, you can start to outsource. So a lot of times people give the excuse of, I don't have the money to outsource to somebody or to hire somebody. Okay, well, would you rather still have all the same problems that you have and be busy with all this other nonsense that you're doing. Or you could hire somebody. This is me with Dave. I was spending so much time on content creation that was taking me away from doing other things that I was like, okay, I don't care how much money it takes. I'm going to hire somebody, an expert in this field, and that's then going to allow me to make more money. So the same goes with anything. Like if you don't want to clean your house, if that takes too much time, hire a maid. I use Instacart to get groceries ordered to me if I'm short on time. So delegate tasks.
It's also like, for me, it's a question, how much do you value your time? If I view myself as like, all right, an hour for myself is like worth $100, and I like take that hour and clean the house instead of paying like someone $20-30 to clean the house. So I'm basically, for me, in my head, I'm saving $70 if I hire someone who like cleans the house.
Yep, that's fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up. The E is eat real food. Real food either grew from the ground or was alive at some point. Real food is not Beyond Meat. Real food is not your morning donut or even bowl of cereal or croissant or toaster pastry, like whatever. Most breakfast food is all bullshit. Like
most food in the supermarket is bullshit. 90% is processed and like packaged, and it's like nothing to do with the real thing anymore.
Think about this. If your grocery store has a section called the health food section, what does that make everything else in the store? Bullshit.
That's a good point.
Right? So downloading and implementing and living by the code is just the first step in this process of becoming the captain of your own life. If you want to take it a step further and really take your life to the next level and create everything that you want to create, live the life you want to live, I've created a 4-month lifestyle optimization program that literally takes you through each of the 8 spokes of the wheel of lifestyle optimization. An in-depth explanation in each of those. 4 months of hopping on a call with me every single week and other men who are also going through the same thing. It's everything that I could possibly fit into this 4-month program to help you become the captain of your own life. It's super in-depth. I've spent the last 2 years updating it, revising it. And this next year coming in January is a relaunch of the program. So I'm re-updating everything. So I'm super excited for that. Announcing right now, the waitlist is officially open. I only take on clients 3 times a year. This is one of those times. So if you want to be coached by me personally to become the captain of your own life, to become the healthiest, happiest, most productive version of yourself, click the link in the description, join the waitlist, because I'm only taking 15 people. It closes at 15 people. This is what allows me to have such an individualized approach. Because like I mentioned in the code, you get a DNA test, you get a gut microbiome test. I give you a test to see your neurotransmitter deficiency. So we customize everything specific to you. This is not a one-size-fits-all program. This is like the last health optimization program that you'll need. The MVVP, we spend the whole first month crafting your mission, vision, values, and purpose. Figuring out who you are as a man. Figuring out the legacy you want to leave, the things you want to accomplish, who you want to be remembered as. This is all specific to you. This isn't some over-the-counter, one-size-fits-all bullshit. Super in-depth. So yeah, click the link in the description. Go to thecaptainslifestyle.com/waitlist to join the waitlist. Even if you don't want to join the program, simply by joining the waitlist, you get a whole bunch of freebies. You get 50% off of my in-person men's retreat and rite of passage coming up in May. 50% off of that. It's the immersion. It went phenomenally well the first time we did it. So this next one is going to be even better. You get free access to my morning and evening rituals course that explains the Cages morning ritual and the 4-3-2-1-30 method. the morning rituals and evening rituals that I personally use in my life. You get free access to that. You get free access to my alcohol optimization strategies course, coming from basically a former alcoholic to now I rarely drink. And when I do, I make sure that I put everything in place to optimize my health after consuming alcohol. So you get that for free, all of my strategies and hacks that I use. You also get a free month of the Captain's Lifestyle crew simply by typing in your email. You get a free month of coaching. It really doesn't get any better than that. Like, type in your email, get free coaching for a month. Done.
I would like to go into why you should hire a coach. I've been like hiring coaches since over 15 years because I know I can do it by myself. Sure, you can watch YouTube videos and learn all that stuff, but how long will it take you? For Taylor, it took like years. For me, it took like 10 years and I'm still learning all kind of new stuff. And he gives you all his knowledge he like got in the last years. I don't know how long you've been like working on it.
It's been a decade.
Yeah, and you can have it in 4 months. So it's like literally like a shortcut, a cheat code in life. That's like every time I have a problem, I have like a field of my life I want to improve and get better at. Instead of like sitting down like, all right, I'm gonna like watch like all these YouTube videos, read all these books and learn all this stuff. I'm just gonna, all right, here's the coach in that field. I'm gonna hire him. He's gonna give me everything I need. Like also like tailored to myself. Because like if you like learn a new field, there's like a lot of shit out there you like probably won't even need to learn. And if you have a coach, you can like see, all right, this is what you need. And this is what I can give you.
Yeah, that's the benefit of working with a coach one-on-one as opposed to doing some one-size-fits-all program. Because having a coach who can see your blind spots and custom things specific to you and what would move the needle the most for you, as opposed to, a one-size-fits-all thing. Right? Having a coach who's experienced, who's gone through these things themselves, who can see your blind spots, simplifies the whole process. It speeds things up. So yes, all of the information that I teach, you can find for free. It's out there. Information is free. I'm not selling any new crazy revolutionary information. Keep in mind, it took me 10 years to pile all this together, to comprise this. And so I'm simplifying it. I'm sifting through all the nonsense. I'm sifting through everything I tried that doesn't work so well, and I'm only including the things that dramatically move the needle. So you can get 10 years of holistic health knowledge in 4 months.
Plus the accountability. You have someone who like, hey, did you do your stuff today? Did you work on your mission statement? Did you do the homework?
The accountability is huge. Like, you guys watching right now, you know what you should be doing. You know that you should exercise more. You know that you should be eating better food. Why aren't you doing it? It's not lack of information. It's lack of accountability. So, thecaptainslifestyle.com/waitlist, type in your email, you get a free month of coaching, joining the crew. A call every single week. There's literally no excuse for you to not make 2023 the best year of your entire life. It's all up to you. So that's why, again, downloading the code, joining the waitlist, can change your entire life if you let it. You still got to do the work. You still got to show up to the calls. But we make it as simple as possible. And that is it for this episode of the Captain's Lifestyle Podcast. To recap everything, if you enjoyed this episode and if you enjoy the information that I'm putting out in general, then click the link in the description to download the Captain's Gift Guide. Because again, I'm able to bring you this podcast and the Captain's Lifestyle Show, which is now on YouTube, every single week. New content, new information. I'm able to bring that to you guys for free because of your support to my sponsors. So if you're looking for the best way to support me, the information that I put out, download the gift guide, see if there's anything that you could benefit from or anything that you can use as gifts to send to other people. Really, that's the best way to keep this podcast and YouTube show coming at you with new information every single week for free. So download the gift guide, give the gift of health this season. If you are looking to optimize your personal health, fulfillment, and productivity, if you know that there's something missing in your life that you're not fulfilled with where you are now, then click the link in the description, download the free copy of the Captain's Code, start living the Captain's lifestyle. If you want to be coached by me personally throughout the duration of the next 4 months, starting in January, so you can start your year off on the right foot, go to thecaptainslifestyle.com/waitlist to put your name on the wait list. That is it. Dave, anything you want to leave them with?
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.